Good evening, everyone. Oh, Vion. There's the gang. All right, statement of compliance with the Sunshine Law. Good evening, everyone. This meeting is being held in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, and adequate notice of this meeting has been provided as required by law. Specifically, the annual notice was emailed to the West Essex Tribune and the Star Ledger on January 2, 2024. The agenda and resolutions for the meeting are available on www.livingstonnj.org. Certain portions of this meeting may be closed to the public for the purpose of personnel and/or other matters as outlined in the Sunshine Law. Decisions made and/or discussed in closed session will be made known to the public at a later time. Notice to members of the governing body and township staff: any use of electronic devices during this meeting shall be used solely for the purposes of township business, and any communications are subject to the Open Public Records Act. To the extent possible, this evening's Township of Livingston Council meeting will be live streamed via Facebook at www.facebook.com/Livingston Township NJ. Questions or comments will also be accepted by emailing livcomments@livingstonnj.org by 4 p.m. on the day of the meeting. Each speaker should follow the rules of order in Livingston Code Section 2-15. Carolyn, roll call.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilmember Baptani.
Here.
Vieira.
Present.
Klein.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Meinhardt.
Here.
Mayor Anthony.
Here. If we could all stand for a moment of silence in the Pledge of Allegiance. And in the moment of silence, we did lose a town worker, Bob Shield, in the plumbing inspector. Barry, if you want to say a few words.
Yeah, just with a heavy heart, unfortunately, Bob Shield, longtime employee in the town building department, plumbing inspector for 15 years with the town, following a 40-year career as a master plumber, died unexpectedly. Very sad, big loss for all of us. Bob was a real gentleman and a great guy. So thoughts and prayers, if we could, for his wife, his 2 children, his grandchildren. To the flag of the United States of America.
Okay. Is Eileen Fishman here? Essex County updates? No, I don't believe so. Okay, we'll go to proclamations and presentations. First of all, I'd like to acknowledge we have our President of the Board of Ed, Pam Charles, is here. Essex County Commissioner Pat Seabold, Assemblywoman Bagoli is here. Fong is here. Is that, okay, never mind. Are you the only one here from the Board of Ed? Is Perul? No, sorry. Benita's ex-BOE. We have the Planning Board Chair, Rufino Fernandez, is here with us tonight. Thank you, Mr. Fernandez, Chairman. Okay, so tonight we have a few different proclamations and presentations. It's really, it's a night of the stars here tonight. We're going to have people who are having days named after them in Livingston, people raising $25,000 for gun awareness, gun violence awareness. We have recognition throughout the entire state for the TACO, which is the Technical Assistant Construction Officer of the Year, Official of the Year. And we have a Unicorn of the Year, an organization that puts service above self, that I and Councilman Vieira belong to, a great organization. We also have National Gun Violence Awareness Day as well, and we have the LCDI to talk about past and future events. So I know, Venita, we're going to bump you first, if that's okay with you. We do have a proclamation for you, Venita. Venita, you are a friend of mine. Your family is like my family. You're a beautiful family. One of the nicest families you'll ever meet. Not a malicious bone in any of your body, always in it for the right reasons. Talk about service above self, like Unico, you totally put the service of others above yourself all the time. You were on the Board of Ed, you've been on a bunch of service organizations, always putting others in front of yourself and in it for the right reasons. And it's in giving you receive, and in tonight, I want to present you with something, and the council wants to present you with something. So we have a proclamation here for you tonight that maybe we could read. Michael, you want to read the first couple paragraphs there?
I'll take the first two. Whereas Vanita Khanna is an active community member, a leader, and an entrepreneur, and whereas Vanita has called Livingston her home for the last 25 years and is the first South Asian to be elected to public office in Livingston Township, and...
These are out of order. Hold on one second.
Here.
Here, Sean.
We were going out of order. Okay. Thank you, sir. All right. You got it. And I want to get this right because it's Vanita, of course. All right, here we go. Vanita recently retired as the past president of the Board of Education and currently serves as the vice chair of the zoning board. And whereas Vanita also serves as a member of the ad hoc Licari and Strawman Tracks Committee, the Livingston Advisory Committee for Disabilities, the Transportation Committee, and Welcome to Livingston Committee. And
Ed, do you want to get the next one?
Where are we?
We don't practice this, so.
Just tell me the paragraph 5. Which one are we on?
Whereas Vanita.
Whereas Vanita dedicates her time to shaping leaders through her classes. Did I read the right one? Or no, did I miss? Oh, you pointed the wrong one. Whereas in recognition of her continued service to the community, Vanita was congratulated by the Essex County Board of County Commissioners during their first celebration of the Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month in May 2022, as well as honored by Sanskriti of New Jersey with their first ever I should really know how to pronounce this. Nilesh Saman Award in August 2022, and right there.
I'm just going to add a couple of sentences of mine. I've known Vanita for 20 plus years, and what Mayor said, it all fits. Congratulations, my friend. So I'm going to continue reading this. Whereas Vanita dedicates her time to shaping leaders through her classes, workshops, seminars, and personal one-on-one coaching sessions as the founder of Orator Academy. And whereas Vanita has hosted a popular South Asian radio show for over 15 years and has featured on NPR, New York WNYC, and NPR Philly WHYY. And
Thanks, Kate, and I'll ad-lib a little too. First of all, Vihan and Sandy are here. Your adoring husband and your son, Shivangi, is on her way in flight, who just graduated Harvard Business School. You're the proud mom of a Harvard Business School graduate. And when Carolyn was putting this plaque together, she was like, man, is she impressive. So, so here we go. Now, therefore, I, Al Anthony, and the council members of the Township of Livingston, County of Essex, State of New Jersey, do hereby proclaim tomorrow, Wednesday, 29, 2024, your birthday, as Vanita Khanna Day throughout Livingston.
You sure you want to give the mic to me, to a communications person? Well, what can I say? I am feeling speechless at this moment, a person who never has any problem with words. This is a very, very humbling moment, but this moment adds to the burden of responsibility that I carry on my shoulders to do what I can and to do it right and to build a legacy. My biggest thing and thought when I was hitting a certain age, no numbers mentioned here, was what will I leave behind? Will somebody remember me for anything at all? So, and that's what kept my mind working. And of course, then I met people along the way who pushed me into things. For example, Pat Fernandez is here. As a new immigrant and my first child starting Harrison School and starting the multicultural, Pat pulled me up and said, VP. I said, no, I don't know. I don't know how the things work here. No, VP, you can handle it. And ever since then, I stopped questioning myself and I just started rolling with the punches, literally. And it didn't make any sense at that time. Where was I heading with all of that? How would all that translate? I didn't know. But looking back, it certainly seems like the dots connect. My heart is filled with gratitude and humility. I have made so many friends along the way. And even though this proclamation, which I'm super, super grateful for, and to Sandeep also, who might have some hand in it, and this is being given to me in AAPI month, which is this month, the month of May, the Asian American Pacific Islander month. But I am so proud to be in a town of this diversity. How we celebrate diversity is just growing leaps and bounds, and everybody is reveling in it, and it really heartens me. The colors that our town is showing are adding to the vibrance of this community, and that's why the problem of developments and housing, because more and more people are coming here. So I plugged it in. I threw that in. I know.
I think you're done now.
No, I told you, don't think before you give me the mic. No, and I've learned one more thing. So, Pat, you are a mentor. I look up to you, Commissioner Pat Siebold. Rosie, Assemblywoman Rosie, you are here. Thank you for your presence. You show up at all our events, which is commendable. I don't know how you do it. Maybe there are clones here and there. Pam, Board of Ed President, I had the pleasure of working with you on the Board of Ed. Such a rewarding, fulfilling experience. Thank you for being my mentor on the board. I appreciate my time there. Fang, thank you for filling in for me now. George, my friend, I appreciate your company, your friendship. I truly, truly appreciate it. Rudy, thank you for coming tonight, and so many of my dearest friends and family who are here. Thank you, and thank you, Sandeep, and thank you, Vihan, for being here as well. I'm wrapping up. Two things that I live by. One, if you want to get somewhere fast, go alone. If you want to get somewhere far, go together. And second thing that I strongly believe in is be the change you wish to see in your world. Thank you.
You might as well.
Yeah. Okay, so to finish agenda number 5 here, we'd like to now honor George Shen. This is, it is, as Vanita mentioned, it is AAPI month, and kind of stealing a page from the Essex County, Pat, is that during the month you honor some individuals as well. So Vanita, your day's tomorrow. George, we have a proclamation for you as well. So Michael, you want to start again?
I'll start the first two. Whereas George Shen is an active community member and a leader who has achieved the highest level of education, a PhD in chemistry. And whereas George has resided in Livingston since 2005 and was elected to the Livingston Board of Education in 2017, serving on the board until 2020. And
Whereas George has served on many community initiatives and performed in leadership roles in several organizations, including Livingston Citizens Institute, the Children's Theater of Livingston, the Livingston Community of Diversity and Inclusion, the Livingston Chinese Association, the Livingston Hoxia Chinese School, I think I blew that one, the Livingston Multicultural Celebration, the Livingston Community Outreach Committee, and the AAPI. And
whereas George has professionally served as chairman and president of the Sino-American Pharmaceutical Professionals Association, he has taught as an adjunct professor at the New Jersey Institute of Technology's Department of Chemistry and Environmental Science, and has spearheaded professional development programs for college and graduate students in collaboration with Princeton, Columbia, and Rutgers University, and
I'm just going to add a couple more sentences for you, George, as well. I've known George for several years now, one of the most put together person, still a leader. So thank you for what you do, George. Proud to call you my friend. So I'm going to continue with this. Whereas in recognition of his continued service to the community, George was honored and awarded by the Essex County Board of County Commissioners. And whereas George is extremely dedicated as a community leader, husband to Quing, and father to 3 daughters, Christina, Jessica, and Rebecca. And
George, this is becoming old hat now that you were honored by Essex County here at the municipal level. Now, therefore, I, Al Anthony, and the council members of the Township of Livingston, County of Essex, State of New Jersey, do here proclaim Tuesday, May 28, 2024, as George Shen Day.
No. It's really my great pleasure, I'll be sure. So only one thing I feel regret today is I didn't wear a tie. So that's one of the reasons I feel after the school board, I start to move on because I hate to wear ties. But I'm so glad that I set out my goal that we want to reach out to the community and let more people from the community stand up. Fortunately, I have the connection in the Chinese community, and the AAPI broaden it. We have more and more coverage in the community, and it's really hard to follow. Those people are the real volunteer and contributors. I'm looking after them and try to learn from them. And I think all of you can do it. And let's keep serve the community on the top priority. And I especially thank my wife's support, and the honor is yours as well. Thank you.
What do we do now? We'll do, yes. All right, tacos next, or I'll have the whole building department mad at me here. Okay, so as I mentioned before, this is a statewide honor We do have a proclamation for Mary Ann, and we could read this one.
I'm going to only do the first line because it's a shorter one.
Okay,
So,
okay.
whereas Mary Ann Apostolico has been a member of the Township of Livingston's Building Department for over 20 years, and
Hold on one second. Whereas Mary Ann holds the title of Principal Technical Assistant and holds 19 years of Uniform Construction Code experience, as well as holding a zoning official certification and a certified International Code Permit Technician. And
Whereas Mary Ann is the Secretary of the New Jersey Association of Technical Assistants, and whereas Mary Ann received the New Jersey Technical Assistant to the Construction Official Award in 2024, and right here. Yep.
Whereas Mary Ann stated, I know not many people can say this, but I truly love where I work, and I'm proud of the exceptional customer service and strong relationships we have with our residents and builders. That's commendable quote. And
Whereas Mary Ann loves going to the beach, baking, cooking, and reading, plus spending time with her husband Lou, her daughters Olivia and Elena, and dog Bentley. And now, therefore, I, Al Anthony, and the council members of the Township of Livingston, County of Essex, State of New Jersey, do hereby recognize Mary Ann and her contributions to the Township of Livingston and congratulate her as the 2024 winner of the Susan H. McLaughlin Technical Assistant of the Year Award. Congratulations, Mary Ann.
Mayor? Al? Mayor, if I could, before you present, I do also want to recognize Mary Ann. She is a pleasure to work with. She's a real asset to the community. And I also want to note, we were informed by the Department of Community Affairs that she had won the award, and they said she was chosen for outstanding contributions in the area of the administration of the Uniform Construction Code, and they concluded saying, we feel this is the highest honor that can be bestowed upon a code official. I'm sure you and your municipality are as proud of her accomplishments as we are, and I couldn't have said it better myself, so congratulations, well deserved.
I just want to say real quickly, so first of all, congratulations. Second of all, it is, I mean, Mike, I hate working for me. No, okay, so first of all, I just want to congratulate you again. Second of all, I couldn't help but notice, but the entire building department is here to wish you congratulations, which to me is a real honor for them to be here. And I would like to recognize, I actually would like to recognize Marty and his whole crew who are here, because they are really unsung heroes in this town for all the work that they do on a daily basis with everything that goes on in this town. That it is a team effort. Obviously, you are an integral part of this team, but they are as well. So I just wanted to recognize the entire building department who's here as well. Congratulate them for all that they do.
I could also add, in addition to being here tonight to support them, they all went to Atlantic City for their presentation to support her. So that's real teamwork. Come on up. Come on up. Yeah, of course, family as well.
Right. We do. Congratulations again. They're beautiful. We've had that dry, sable white. Yeah. Big Sheltie nut. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. So next we have Raina Stern, who's an unbelievable young woman who raised over $25,000. And maybe, do you want to speak about
So,
it?
Mayor, before
yeah.
before you read the citation,
wants
and
to speak
before
first.
Raina speaks, if she wants to, I told her she didn't have to. So it's just, we don't want to surprise her. But Raina, you know what? I am so proud of you. You know what? I met Raina in 2019, and as a bar mitzvah project, Raina held a jail and bail event, raising donations for Orange Ribbons for Jamie. This is an organization named after Jamie Guttenberg. Jamie was a 14-year-old high school student who was murdered in the horrific Parkland, Florida shooting in 2018. And Raina didn't know Jamie. The only connection that Raina had to Jamie was Robert, her father, and Jamie's father, Fred, went to the same school, went to the same college, and that was the only really connection that they had. But I was honored in 2019, along with my wife, Gabby, to be part of Raina's fundraising efforts. I know that Commissioner Siebold was also there. And in 2019, Raina raised a couple $1,000s for Orange Ribbons for Jamie. And unfortunately, 2020, 2021, and 2022, COVID hit, and Raina had to, she had to rely on online donations, but she continued raising funds to end gun violence. And in 2023, Raina was back with her jail and bail event. And from 2019 to 2023, Raina raised $8,000. And she was just barely, that year, I think you were a freshman or a sophomore. But this year, Raina, now a junior in Livingston High School, thought much bigger. And I and my wife, Gabby, were really honored to be with you as you held the first Orange Ribbons for Jamie Gala at Crystal Plaza. And you raised over $25,000 that day. Congratulations. You know, I know Haley and Robert, Raina's mom and dad. You know, I'm sure you are so proud of your daughter. Raina, I'm proud of you too. I watched you over the last few years grow up and continue to work for what you believed in. And as long as you keep going, know that Gabby and I will continue to be with you for your great cause. So congratulations.
Raina, you're unbelievable. I'm going to read the proclamation, and then we're going to come down there, and if you want to add to that. I know the fundraiser had celebrities, it had autographed materials from different stars, right? I mean, it was tremendous what you did. So this is what the proclamation says. We are pleased to honor Raina Stern for raising awareness about gun safety and gun control. Raina planned a fundraising gala at the Crystal Plaza in April 2024, which raised over $25,000 for Orange Ribbons for Jamie. In honor of Jamie Guttenberg, a 14-year-old victim of a shooting in Florida and for organizing 2 jail and bail events. Raina is committed to speaking up against gun violence and devoted to advancing common sense gun safety in Guttenberg's name. So congratulations, Raina.
Hi everyone, I'm Raina, and I just wanted to come up here and say thank you guys for all of the support, and to let you guys know that I will be continuing to raise money for Orange Ribbons for Jamie and throughout the rest of high school, but also throughout college, since I've become extremely, extremely passionate about ending gun violence. And I just really hope that you guys will come along with the ride with me, and hopefully every year it'll get better and better.
Okay, next is Unicorn of the Year, and as I mentioned before, as a member of Unico, Pat, I know our group has noted several things about your involvement with Unico. Unico's donations chairperson, the organizer of the Christmas party, submitting articles to the West Essex Tribune, Unico, and the Italian Tribune, almost perfect attendance at board meetings, membership meetings, and district meetings. And for the Citizen of the Year, you brought in many sponsors. And like I said before, our motto is service above self, and no one exemplifies that better than you. So we want to honor you here tonight with we want to piggyback your honor of being Unicorn of the Year. We want to recognize you as well from the Township Council. And I think, Michael, you wanted to say a few things?
Thank you. As also a fellow member of Unico, Pat, congratulations on being selected as Unicorn of the Year. For those who don't know, you or your family are very charitable, and your volunteerism is amazing. Really, it is. Not only is Pat a member of the Livingston Unico, he's also a member of the Livingston Kiwanis Club, Knights of Columbus, Sons of Italy, the Livingston Old Guard, and I know I'm missing a couple, Pat. But you know what? I just want to congratulate you again on receiving such a distinguished honor. So congratulations.
So Pat, the citation Michael, you love the word citation.
I hate that word
The
citation, just for the
proclamation-
record.
The proclamation says, "The mayor and the members of the Livingston Township Council are pleased to join the Livingston chapter of Unico in honoring you as Unican of the Year 2024, as you embody Unico's motto of service above self and has dedicated many years to serving others." So congratulations, Pat.
I want to thank council for this great honor today. And as a first generation Italian-American, it's an honor to give back to Livingston, number one. Born and raised in Orange, as Mike has been, you know, we go back a long time. You know, Mike told me, I'm going to give you an honor because you're the Unicorn of the Year. And Mike stepped up, and Al Anthony is as a member also, and our Assemblywoman Rosa Bigoli, a member also. And I'll be honest with you, this is a great honor for me from the township. And I tell you, Livingston gave back to me, so I'm giving back to Livingston with the help of my wife also. She also a member of Unico. As Mike said, member of Kiwanis, a member of Sons of Italy, a member of Old Guard. I'm young, though. A member of Old Guard, member of a Town American Association in East Hanover, and a couple other ones I'm forgetting. I don't have time of the week. But it is a great honor. I do give back to Livingston. Livingston is giving back to me. And I do these donations, I do other stuff because it's something that I love. I love my culture, I love all cultures, but my culture comes first. And we do help a lot of people in Unico. And as these two gentlemen right here can tell you what we do, it is amazing. And we do donations to all types of situations, whether it's Italian, American, everybody. We've got scholarships coming up next month, and all ethnic groups get them. So get your kids out there and apply for them in the high school. Thank you very much again.
The Assemblywoman has a proclamation or citation? Citation, we love that word. Where in Italy are you from?
It's not fair. Everybody's getting a proclamation. I'm getting tickets. You get tickets. This is something. I should be getting a proclamation.
If you haven't been to the Knights of Columbus for Christmas to enjoy the meal that you put together and the wine that flows, you're missing out, everybody. Best dinner in town during the Christmas season. So thank you for everything that you do for our community. Thank you for everything. I know you don't do it by yourself. Your wife helps out. She's an incredible cook, too. As a fellow Unican, I wanted to congratulate you on your service above self and always putting our community first. Thank you. I don't have mine as fancy as his.
Okay, next we have, it is National Gun Violence Awareness Day. It's a longer proclamation. I'll read a little bit of it, and Laura, are you going to come up? Okay. So, whereas every day an average of 327 Americans are killed by gun violence and hundreds more sustain non-fatal firearm injuries, whereas firearms are the #1 leading cause of death for American children, whereas Americans are 25 times more likely to be killed through gun violence than persons in other developed countries, whereas the U.S. has a ratio of 120.5 firearms owned per 100 residents, up from 88 per 100 in 2011, far surpassing that of other countries around the world. Whereas the U.S. gun suicide rate is 10 times that of other high-income countries, and access to a gun increases by 3 times the risk of death by suicide. The Council, therefore, resolves that it reaffirms its commitment to reduce gun violence, to pledge to do all it can to keep firearms out of the wrong hands, to encourage responsible gun ownership, and to support common sense gun violence prevention legislation consistent with the Second Amendment. And therefore, it shall be resolved that I and the Township Council do hereby reaffirm the Township's commitment to remember all the victims and survivors of gun violence, to support local community efforts to prevent gun violence, to honor and value human lives, and to declare that we, as a country, must do more to reduce gun violence, and do hereby proclaim in the June 7th, as 2024, as National Gun Violence Awareness Day. So, Lori, do you want to come up and speak? Great.
This is on? Oh, yeah. Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Lori Kahn. I'm the Vice President of Advocacy at the National Council of Jewish Women, and I'm joined by Rebecca Grossman, who's the Director of Advocacy. First, I just want to thank the Town Council for every year for recognizing Gun Violence Awareness Day. It's unfortunate that we have to do this, and we'll keep doing it and keep doing it until we don't have to do it anymore. And I also want to thank Raina. You're amazing and an inspiration to everybody, young and old, so thank you for all that you do. I'll make my comments brief, but I just basically want to say that New Jersey has among the strictest gun laws in the entire country. In 2022, New York State brought in front of the Supreme Court a case where the Supreme Court overturned a law from 1911 that where people could concealed carry, where we know that a concealed carry in the past, only people who had real strict reasons to have. I'm so nervous. I don't know why I'm never nervous when I speak in public. I guess this really chokes me up, and I get very upset when I have to talk about things like this. Concealed carry in the past always meant where you would have to go and you would have to make a case for the fact that you had to have a concealed weapon, whether it was your business or your police officer or something where you felt threatened and you had to carry a gun. In 2022, a case was brought in front of the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court overturned that law and made it okay for people who have gun permits to just file for a concealed carry permit to carry guns. So the person behind you at King's or at ShopRite, sitting next to you at a concert, at urgent care when you're there to get a strep test, that person could be carrying a gun. And it was brought in front of the New Jersey courts to overturn that, and it's been sitting in pending legislation, and it has not passed yet. So it's really important who we vote for. I always say that voting is like a Venn diagram. You picture voting in the center, and all around voting are all the different issues that we care about, whether it's gun violence, whether it's reproductive rights, whether it's rights for immigration, whatever it is, it's always about voting. So please make sure that when you vote, you check out who you're voting for, you check out who your candidates are, and you vote for people who are going to support your issues. So with that being said, on June 7th, which is next Friday night, we will be having a rally at Summit Green from 5 o'clock to 6:30. I have flyers here for anybody who's interested in going. We have speakers that will be speaking, and lots of information. So with that being said, I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you very much. And okay.
Thanks again, Lori. Thank you. Okay, we're up to the approval of the minutes. Not a presentation. It's a presentation, not a proclamation. Okay, we have the okay, so we have LCDI, Livingston Committee for Diversity and Inclusion, the past and future events.
That's comfortable. I would like to thank the town council and the mayor for giving us an opportunity to speak this evening. Thank you very much. My name is Harsh Raju, and I'm the co-chair of the Livingston Committee for Diversity and Inclusion, along with Andrew Miller. So I'm here to just give you a brief description about what LCDI does. So before I do that, I would like to thank Councilman Bhuptani. He's the town liaison for our committee, and he has been very generous with his time. He has shown us, he's given us his guidance every time we have asked him for. So thank you so much, Councilman, for that. And I would like to thank the town council for passing or adopting the resolution 7/2024, which gives us the opportunity to have high schoolers to be part of town committees. And we really appreciate, having these young minds and appreciate the contributions that they can make to committees like ours.
Thank you.
So having said that, just to give some of the programs that we have done in the past, on Jan 15th, we did the MLK Day. And then on May 10th, we had a new event this year, which was called Fashion Able Ally, where we had a fashion show celebrating disability pride. So that was a well-attended event as well. And then on May 14th, we had Livingston Celebrates Israel. And then on May 24th, we had the AAPI picnic. So I would also like to end by thanking all of you for attending all our events, and we would look forward to having you on our future events as well. And Andrew Miller is going to tell us...
A few months, yes.
So Andrew is going to talk about the future events and the vision that our committee has.
Sure.
Thank you. We appreciate your time this evening, and want to also thank some of our committee members who are here tonight to support us. So as Harsh talked about past events, upcoming, we have 3 events in June that are open to the community. First of which is the Pride Picnic and Flag Raising on June 2nd from 12 to 5 at the Oval. It's co-sponsored with Shiv's Third Eye. The event is for the entire community, and it will feature music, crafts, food, games, and other activities. And leading up to the Pride Picnic, the Livingston Public Library is offering a Pride take-home craft from today through the 30th. On the 12th of June at 5:30, we are having the Women's Veterans Day celebration at the Memorial Park at the Oval. This celebration marks the anniversary of Women Armed Services Integration Act, which was signed into law in 1948. The day honors the strength and resilience of women who have served in the military and the diversity and inclusiveness they bring to the force. Livingston was the first township in New Jersey to recognize the day as a state holiday on the same day it was signed into law in 2019. The Juneteenth celebration will take place on June 19th. We're working with the Township Public Library. The celebration will start at 6 o'clock with a screening of Our America, Black Freedom, a film that highlights the stories of what Black freedom means today. Following the film, there'll be a flag-raising ceremony at 7 with comments from the NAACP, of the Maplewood and Oranges, LHS students, and Town Council. I'll just conclude by saying diversity, inclusion, and belonging. These are the characteristics that make a town a community, and the committee is helping to do that. We are looking for additional members for the committee to help support these events as well as other events throughout the year. And later in the fall, we have Hispanic Heritage Month, Martin Luther King Day of Service, Black History Month, and looking into next year, Women's History Month, and celebrating women of Livingston. So we have a lot going on, and we look forward to bringing more to the community and helping to enrich it further. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's incredible what you do. And everyone up here really appreciates it. And thank you, Councilman Bhuptani, being the liaison. I mean, you guys are really busy. I know We've had a lot in the town, and thank you for the future events as well. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
All right, now I can make a motion for approval of the minutes of the May 13th, 2024 regular conference minutes and the May 13th, 2024 closed session meeting
I'll
minutes.
second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 I'd like to make a motion to open the meeting for public comments on agenda items only.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We are now open for public comments on agenda items only.
Seeing none, I'll make a motion to close.
I'd like to second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next, we have the consent agenda for resolutions. All matters listed with an asterisk are considered to be routine and non-controversial by the council and will be approved by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a member of the governing body so requests, in which case the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda as part of the general orders. Carolyn, first one, or read them all together? Does anyone want any removed?
Yeah,
No?
I think,
You do?
Mayor, I would like to remove 24156, 24156 for just a
Separate?
brief discussion.
Fantastic. Okay, so Carolyn, the first one?
Resolution 24-155, sale of surplus vehicles.
So moved.
Second.
Councilmember Baptani,
Yes.
Viera,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Meinhardt.
Yes.
Mayor Anthony.
Yes.
Mayor, would you like me to read the pulled resolution
Sure.
for separate reading?
Yep, second one.
24-156, authorizing NJHT grant application 2024 and providing assurances.
I'd like to make a motion to accept, to move it. Sorry.
Have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Gaten?
Yeah, I think I want to just get into more of the details behind this. So Barry, if you, maybe we can start with describing this, what this is about.
Yeah,
maybe the background behind, the reasoning and all of that.
Right, so the old Force Home, which is across the street, which is designated, it's on the National and State Registries of Historic Places. It is sort of the headquarters of the Livingston Historical Society, is in a significant state of disrepair. A couple years back, prior to your tenure on the council, we did apply for and were awarded approximately $550,000 in state grants. As the process unfolded and some additional investigation of the condition of the building, coupled with the significant cost increases associated with the pandemic and everything else, the architect's estimate of the overall cost, which involves basically inside, outside, foundational issues, new roof, walls, insulation, adding ADA bathrooms, to the house, the cost increased, so we are looking to apply for some additional funding from the state.
So this is essentially a grant application for additional funding that we because of circumstances. we need
Correct.
extra money.
Increased costs and additional needs that were discovered by the architect.
Thank you. I think the background is important. It was prior to my tenure. I want to make sure I'm voting on the right thing.
Absolutely.
Mayor Baptani.
Council.
I got
I didn't
elevated.
even realize I said that.
I got elevated.
That was a huge promotion.
That's a huge promotion.
Councilmember Baptani,
Yes.
Viera,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Meinhardt.
Yes.
Mayor Anthony.
Yes. Thank you, Carol.
I'd like to make a motion to open the meeting to the public portion. Comments?
I'll second it.
All in favor? Yes, okay.
Clock's running. Yes.
Thanks for seeing us this evening. My name is Jim Cooney. I live at 34 Congressional, and my family has been on Congressional since 1972, and my relatives across the street have been there since 1929. So we've got almost a century going for us here. What I wanted to talk about, I think the timing is good, and Judy is one of the neighbors here. The timing is good because you had your luncheon over at Northland last week. And I know I spoke to Michael briefly, that Northland Park has become Northland parking lot. Take a good look around. You have 15 school buses, they are taking up 30 spots. You have the DPW trucks there that we all know are going to go to the circle. So everything that I'm bringing forth to you now is in process. I've been working with Officer Joe Fosco, who came to my house. Had about 10 people from town, different agencies walking around. They couldn't believe what they saw there. Between the pickleball, it's the 16 spots, the cricket, which is another 25 spots down there, the school buses, which should be on Board of Education property, take up another 25 spots, and then you have DPW trucks in the back. The neighborhood can turn into chaos. An example of that was the trunk or treat last year. I'm surprised nobody died during that event because we have senior citizens on the street. You couldn't get back and forth. It was actually dangerous for the children to be there. We understand that the Officer Joe is looking at different ordinances to move private vehicles out of Northland Park parking lot. We know that the DPW trucks are eventually going to be moved, but there doesn't seem to be a concern for Northland Park as there is for Memorial Park. Memorial Park is the jewel. Northland is an afterthought, total afterthought to the residents. And I'm speaking for the Northland residents. Consideration should have been taken. If we're going to put the DPW trucks there, okay, school buses have to go. Where are these parents parking? Try and go down to the bottom of Congressional during a game day when parents are late and they're turning around and doing K-turns. They're driving the people crazy. The pickleball courts and the noise, 75 yards away. There's my pickleball expert over there. 75 yards away from houses. Now, Ron has a proposal somewhere in the budgetary process to get a sound barrier put in. And he says I don't know where it is. I want to speak for Ron Barbella, but he's been great. Joe Fosco's been great. But we need to have your support in getting the sound barrier put up there. And then also, let's get good oversight. Let's have Northland Park again. Don't have Northland parking lot. Okay? So I know my 3 minutes is up, and I thank you all for the opportunity. I really do.
Thanks, Jim.
Barry, did Ron try that and came to a negative conclusion, the pickleball sound?
Yeah, we are examining additional options. We made an attempt over by your house with certain mats that did
And
not.
I gave you my ruling.
Yeah, not proved to be terribly effective. So we are evaluating other methods that would be more effective and are committed to doing that. I'm glad to hear that Officer Fosco has been cooperative and working with you because it's clearly, there are the school buses, there are obviously the DPW's bursting at the seams, and we hopefully sooner than later are going to get those moved out. But yeah, your point is certainly well taken. When all the spots in the lot are taken up by all those vehicles, then everybody that's coming for Little League and everywhere else has nowhere to park but all up and down the streets. And I will follow up with Officer Fosco on what he's done, and we will continue. And I know the mayor and council are well aware of the school bus issue. We also have them parked over at the community center and not on Board of Ed property, but we're definitely working on it, and there will be a sound barrier of some sort up this year. Okay, thanks, Jim.
Yeah.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name's Judy Super, and I live at 39 Congressional Parkway. My home is located exactly where the no parking signs end, and during the baseball season, there are a lot of cars that are using my space as loading and unloading zone. My home is also a T intersection, so that makes it particularly dangerous to unload and unload. And you're not even supposed to be parking in a T intersection. People neglect that constantly. Last year, my driveway was blocked twice, and I was unable to get out, and I had to call the police to intervene. asking the town council to consider the safety of the residents as well as the people who are using the street. Adding some permanent protective measures will go a long way to ensure to maintain the well-being and safety of residents of Livingston.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Barry, can we look into that as far as, there is a lot of turning around there. I'm on the board of Little League, so I get to go through that gate, but I see the people turning around down there, and it could be a mess. So Barry, could maybe extend the no parking, or?
I'll check with all, I know Fosco was looking at all the ordinances, all where it's allowed, where it's not, whether to expand it, what to do. Yeah. Yeah.
Further up, going towards North Livingston. Yes, going back, right. It does, yeah.
And Barry, all sign, that comes before the council, that's an ordinance, I believe.
Right.
Maybe stop at the first entrance, right, into North Liverpool? Jefferson, and Madison's the one closer to the gate. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Good, Aaron? All right, thank you so much. Next.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Deputy Mayor, and all of our council members. My name is India Sweetney. I live in town. I really don't want to say my exact address, but I'm a Livingstoner. I was coming tonight, and listen, I promise you, I'm not trying to start anything. I just have a question, and you can direct me to wherever it needs to go, because again, I'm not trying to start anything, I'm just looking for some information. I didn't know if the Livingston Mall property was completely sold, if there are plans for it, or if it is still a bidding process where if someone has businesses for it, could it be possible? Because I have a business for it that I would really like to speak about, that I believe could revitalize it as a mall, number one, and also bring a lot of revenue to the town in a number of different levels. But I just didn't know if it was still,
Yes, so the mall has been quite a challenge. It was way back when the entire thing owned by Simon, which is probably the largest mall company in the country. The Sears had an option within their lease, which they exercised. So now the 16 acres to the north, where the Sears building in that parking lot was owned separately by Sears. Sears went bankrupt. There's a company called Transformco that now controls that piece of property. Simon then sold its interest to a company called Cohan Retail Investments. Within the remaining property, Macy's also has an option that they've indicated they're going to exercise to peel off about 10 acres at the south, including their building. Hudson Bay, which is the old Lord & Taylor, the parent company of Lord & Taylor, has roughly 50 years remaining on a ground lease on their piece. So it's been quite a challenge to try and get all the stakeholders involved. The town is actually authorized to study for whether it's an area in need of redevelopment with the potential for condemnation. Right now, it's all privately owned, so we don't have the ability to force them to do anything. I will say this, and I'm happy to say it publicly, that the new owner, Cohan, has been incredibly disappointing, unresponsive, not participating in trying to revitalize the mall, not maintaining the mall. Code enforcement has their hands full with them. So in terms of, I think the council, we certainly would like to have a vision that if it gets designated an area in need of redevelopment, and a new redeveloper comes in with a plan, obviously they'd have to, if we didn't exercise eminent domain, they'd have to buy the various interests. I will also say Transformco, that controls the Sears piece, and Macy's have been much more willing partners in talking about a vision and a future as what to do with the mall. But right now, it's just been an unbelievable challenge in terms of your business idea. If you mean in the mall proper, you'd have to talk.
The Sears piece.
The Sears piece? I mean, I could certainly provide you with the contact information for Transformco. It's, again, it's privately owned and private property, so we can't make them do anything right now. The zoning permits a certain level of use is essentially a mall, retail and all that, if what you're proposing, was within the permitted use and you talk to them, but we can't really make them do anything at this point.
I just didn't know
Yeah.
if it was possible, right? I didn't know if somebody had already been talking to you all, and, I just didn't know if it was possible.
Sorry, we had passed the authorization for a study,
Right.
When do we expect that back, or when
So
where
this,
are we with
we
that?
initially did a study without condemnation. We just recently changed that to do it actually at the last meeting with condemnation. So most of the study is actually done. Initially, when we did it, Simon was still in control, and we felt the redevelopment would just provide some additional planning tools and the ability to come up with a redevelopment plan. Given the performance of the new owner, Cohan, I think the sense was that eminent domain had to be some leverage that we had, and the possibility that if we had to condemn it, we would.
When that study's done, Barry, does that go to the planning board to?
The study would initially go back to the planning board. Okay. Planning board then will make a recommendation to the council. The council then actually has to take the official action to designate it as an area in need of redevelopment. That does not trigger condemnation, but the power is authorized at some point.
And when do we think the study will be done? Do we have, you said it's mostly done, do we have a sense of when that'll be finished?
I will follow up, but I would expect they just had to update some stuff, but it certainly hasn't gotten any better, so I don't think they'll need to. It's got more vacancies and worse conditions, so it should be a pretty easy update. So it should be pretty soon, I would think.
Thank you.
I think they said July, August, I think they said.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thanks, Chair.
so Indy, if you had a good idea for the middle piece, the part that was
For
Simon?
the Sears part.
Oh, for the Sears
For
part.
the
Okay.
Sears, yes,
Okay.
that would then trickle down to everything else.
Okay.
I don't want to say.
We were going to give you the address for Cohan.
Okay.
But what's it
That
again?
would be.
Cohan Retail Group, they're based out of Westchester, New York. If you Google them, Kohan, first name, if you Google them, you'll find their
Retail
information
Investment
on Cohan
Retail
Investment Group.
So that's all the mall, or
That's-
that's just the Sears
No,
part?
no,
That's
no,
Sears
that's
part of
everything
the
but-
The Sears. The Sears is Transform Co. I can send, if you,
Yeah, Sears is the Transform.
if you
Co.
reach
people.
out to me tomorrow, I can
Will
send you
do.
via email the information.
Okay.
For Transform.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks. Any other public comment? Carolyn, you got a comment on the internet?
Yes, Mayor Anthony.
Yeah, all right.
Gonna get it
Madam
right.
Clerk.
I actually have two comments to read. The first is from Jax Allen Brown, non-resident. I work in Livingston. My partner and I are supporters of your LCDI events. We like that you have a committee for diversity and inclusion, but we want to know what your group does outside of showing up for events. What do you do when issues of race and sexual identity come up in your community? There is a group of about 40 women from South Orange, Maplewood area who one of your police officers, Kevin Mullaney, taught to swim over 10 years ago. We remember being so proud of Kevin when he achieved his lifelong goal of being a police officer in the town where he grew up. We're all also not surprised when we learned that Kevin was one who stood up against homophobia in your police department. When my wife and I heard from a fellow triathlete what has been happening with Kevin, to say we were horrified and outraged would be an understatement. Kevin obviously has no support from LCDI and has been shunned by your community. Anyone who's met Kevin for 10 seconds realizes he's getting railroaded here. Your treatment of Kevin is why people have problems trusting the police. What's the point of having committees, picnics, flag raisings if you don't actually stand by the issues when they come up? You have an officer standing up against homophobia, an upstander who our kids should admire, but you've done nothing. Save your events, we will no longer be attending. My suggestion to the LCDI is to stop planning events and to start caring about the issues. I'm proud to live in the South Orange, Maplewood area where this nonsense isn't tolerated and people actually care. Do better, Livingston. Your neighbors are also watching, and it's not just limited to East Hanover and your automatic weapons range anymore. My friends and I hope to talk about these issues with you in person at a meeting in the near future. Signed, Jax Allen Brown from Maplewood. The next comment is from Justin Eschard Albert, who is a resident. He writes, Dear Councilman, last year when we honored National Gun Violence Awareness Day, it was shortly after another national shooting tragedy, and the woman accepting the citation remarked under her breath how difficult it is to be back again without any meaningful change. The same may likely go for this year. While we are sure that young Ms. Stern passionately and eloquently stated her case in a manner that would make us all proud, let's commit to doing even more in concrete terms. This year, we have a clear and present local answer. We know that our township police are in need of a new indoor range, as are the responsible local members of the weapons-owning community. Welcome opportunity for this council to open a public dialogue between, one, the moms demand and all folks, and two, the responsible local members of the weapons-owning community here in Livingston. We can develop a place for free citizens to responsibly exercise their Second Amendment rights alongside our friends in blue who have been sworn to protect and serve, all while building up healthy local weapons-owning culture. Can teach safety and responsibility both formally and by example. At the next 5-on-5 meeting, we could discuss a curriculum in the local schools that includes weapons history, the science of gunpowder, the calculus of trajectory, tactical ideas, and how to field dress a deer. I'm sorry, I didn't read this. Can reintroduce the shooting sports. I'm sorry. Can reintroduce the shooting sports generally by taking on. Actually, I can't read it. I'm sorry.
By taking on actual responsibility locally, we can lead a nationwide movement beyond the repetitive platitudes of annual citations, something that we could all be proud of right here in Livingston as part of a broader common sense master plan in our schools, in our community, and in our warehouse districts. Thank you, Councilman, for your consideration. Let's start making a real difference going forward. Respectfully submitted, Justin Asher Alpert.
All right. Thank you, Carolyn. And Jared.
Motion to close public comment.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We are up to reports of township officials and council members. Ann, anything? No?
Nothing today, thank you.
Good. Okay, thanks, Ann. Adam?
Nothing tonight.
Still looking good tonight? All right.
Nothing that we didn't do in conference already. Thank you.
Thanks, Barry. Nothing, Mayor. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Carolyn?
The only thing I'd like to say is elections are next Tuesday, June 4th, and just to remind everybody that the primary election's right around the corner, and we will be open in Town Hall, the library, and the community center. So look at your sample ballot for your district.
Great. Thank you. Jared?
Thank you, Mayor. Nothing tonight.
Awesome. Caton?
Yeah, a couple of notes, Mayor, thank you. Yeah, first of all, in advance, thank you very much, Carolyn, for all the days of work that's upcoming for you and the team for the upcoming primaries and the volunteers that came in, and thank you to all of them as well. First is, I want to give a shout out to a beautiful, beautiful Memorial Day parade we had. We were lucky to have had that fantastic weather, but the organization that committee did in organizing the huge event like Memorial Day Parade, it's really a signature event, as I always say. So kudos to the entire committee, and just great job there. And I'll just close with a couple of reminders of some fun events coming up for our residents. There is one, the Pride Picnic that the LCDI team mentioned here, June 2nd, I think it's 12 to 4:45-ish or so, and then you have a walk around the Oval at 4:45, followed by the flag raising. So really looking forward to that. And another event before we meet again, it's going to be Summerfest. I know, Mike, I'm going to take that
that
credit
one.
for it, but it's really, I can't help myself. This is actually is really exciting. 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the Oval. There'll be music, beer garden, but the most important part is there's a ton of kids activities. There's a kids zone, all in one admission. There are flyers everywhere, so I do say to the residents, let's make use of that. It's really good. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Caton. Michael?
So I'm not going to echo my fellow Rotarian, but Summerfest is coming up on June 9th. Please come out. It's a great event. Tons of stuff over there, food trucks and everything else. Again, I want to thank all the veterans and everyone, including Councilman Meinhardt as the liaison to the Memorial Day Parade Committee. Fantastic job. I'm glad that we did not cancel it. because, you know, it turned out to be a great day, and it was good. Electronic recycling and paper shredding, June 9th. Let me make sure I got it right, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.? Yep. Great.
Fluorescent tubes and rechargeable batteries.
Fluorescent tubes and rechargeable batteries. And then also this Thursday at our community center, Essex County commissioners are having a Jewish Heritage Celebration. That's Thursday, May 30th, starting at 6 p.m. I know there's some proclamations that they're going to be giving out. There's some food there. So May 30th, that's a Thursday, this coming Thursday at 6 p.m. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Michael. Sean?
I'll keep it brief. Just wanted to express a lot of gratitude to everyone that worked so hard to make the parade such a wonderful event for everybody in the town. It's one of the marquee events every year. I think it's one of the things that makes Livingston feel really special to everybody that lives here, and thanks so much for all the effort that went into it.
Deputy Mayor?
I'm just going to echo about the Memorial Day Parade. I did write an email on behalf of the town council to everybody on the Memorial Day Parade Committee, thanking them for all their hard work. They did a great job. Carolyn, I thank you very much in advance for the elections that are coming up. What we saw this evening with all the volunteers here was really what Livingston is all about. While we all look good up here some days, it is the volunteers that make us that way. And so without the volunteers, obviously Andrew and Harsh are still here, so thank you guys for everything that you do as well. But all the other volunteers who are here, and Ina as well, who does with the chest, so thank you. But they're also, everyone does a great job, and so we really appreciate everything that they do. And finally, Councilman Klein is going on a trip, I found out this week or next week. There's an expression that one says when one goes to Israel, translated into English, it says, go in peace and return in peace. So that's what I wish to you, and a great trip.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor.
Great, thanks. Same here, Councilman. I have to echo, the Memorial Day Parade Committee did a great job. Thank you as the liaison. We were getting updates right to the end of whether it was on or off, and people were contacting us. And you know what? I was on a mayor's meeting today, Essex County. There was cancellations, so it was great to keep it on. I think, Ed, you were solely responsible for that, or no? 100% responsible. Okay. It was a great move. And we had a lot of people there, and thank you all for coming out to that. We did write some letters to the editor in the West Essex Tribune, trying to get, like we said, barbecues and families are great. No problem there, but to honor those who have fallen to make this country so great and the way we live now. We have to be thankful for that. Since the last time we did have the Israel Independence Day, awesome job. Thousands and thousands of people at the community center and out here for the flag raising, a wonderful, wonderful event. Thank you to you and everyone involved. We also had the first AAPI picnic, which was tremendous, very well attended. There was food and culture and performances and kite flying, and hopefully that becomes a tradition going forward in the future, like in Israel Independence Day as well. We did have the employee appreciation lunch. Thank you, Barry, and Ann, and Adam, and everyone at Russ, and Carolyn, and everything you do to make this town so great. It was really nice. And we did see some of those parked. It was hard to get into that parking lot, Barry. But also, let's see, we had the Holy Celebration, which was really terrific at the Oval, as usual. And we had the fire department inspection dinner, so thank you to LFD for all your hard work and our volunteers there as well. And you guys up here mentioned the Pride Flag Picnic and Summerfest coming up. So I think that's a wrap. Anyone else have anything?
Yeah, Mayor, we should announce that what was decided in conference, that the next meeting is moved due to a scheduling issue. Instead of Monday, June 10th, the meeting will be on Wednesday, June 12th. 6:30 conference, 7:30, and it will be noticed in accordance with the law, but since anyone's here and watching at home.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And Harsh and Andrew, the celebration that day is 5:30, right, on the 12th?
The Women's Veterans, right.
So we could still make that, and we have a 6:30 meeting here. So great. Anyone else? No, going once?
Motion to adjourn.
Twice?
Second.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Good night, everyone. Thank you.